Yashodanandana Prajadanarandana Yashodanandana Prajadanarandana Jamuna Tira Vanashari Jamuna Tira Vanashari Radha Madhava Kund Bihari Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Yashodanandana Brajadanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanashari Yamuna Tira Vanashari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bolo. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Gaura Pimanandi. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa, Pri Vrajagacharya Stotra Divine Grace. Shilabai Charandaranta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Skandi Biti, founder Acharyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki. Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki, Harinama Sankirtan ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Dainitai Gaura Pimanandi, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Sarakaya Dakshurindaritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanditam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kantana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Dharam Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavidinaistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes an established, becomes an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Pranam Brahmasamitam Uttama Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasya Namaha. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Mukam karoti vasaram pagum langayate girim. Yat kripa tamaham bandhe Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamaham bandhe Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam class. Continuing to read from canto number 1, chapter 3, entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Yesterday we read 21, so today is 22. Yes. Nara Devatvam Apanaha Sura Karya Chikir Shaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryani Ataha Param Naradevatva Surakarya Chikir Shaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryanyata Param Nara Devatvam Apana Surakarya Shikir Shaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryanyata Param Nara Devatvam Apana Surakarya Chikir Shaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryanyata Param
Surakarya Chikirshaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryanyata Param Naradevatvam apanaha Surakarya Chakirshaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryani Atah Param
Naradevatvam Apanaha Surakarya Chikir Shaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryanyata Param Devatma Apanaha Surakarya Chikir Shaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryanyata Param Nara human being Devatvam divinity apannaha,
Apannaha,
having assumed the form of
having assumed the form of
Sura,
Sura,
the demigods,
the demigod,
Karya,
Karya,
activities,
activity,
Chikirshaya,
Chikeshaya,
for the purpose of performing
for the purpose of performing
Samudra,
Samudra,
the Indian Ocean,
the Indian Ocean,
Nigraha Adini,
Nigrahadini,
controlling,
controlling,
etc.
etc.
Chakre,
Chakre
did perform
did perform
Viryani,
Biryani,
superhuman prowess.
superhuman powers.
Hmm. Itaha param,
Atahaparam,
thereafter.
thereafter.
Translation and purport by the Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Rama in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods. He exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist king Ravana, who was on the other side of the. Kindly repeat after me. In the 18th,
In the 18th incarnation,
the Lord appeared as King Rama
the Lord appeared as King Rama
in order to perform
in order to perform
some pleasing work
some pleasing work
for the demigods.
for the demigod.
He exhibited
He exhibited
superhuman powers
superhuman power
by controlling the Indian Ocean
by controlling the Indian Ocean
and then killing
and then killing
the atheist king Ravana,
the atheist king Ravana,
who was on the other side
who was on the other side
of the sea.
of the sea.
Report. The personality of Godhead, Sri Ram, assumed the form of a human being and appeared on the earth for the purpose of doing some pleasing work for the demigods or the administrative personalities to maintain the order of the universe. Sometimes great demons and atheists like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu and many others become very famous due to advancing material civilization by the help of material science and other activities with a spirit of challenging the established order of the Lord. For example, the attempt to fly to other planets by material means is a challenge to the established order. The conditions of each and every planet are different, and different classes of human beings are accommodated there for particular purposes mentioned in the codes of the Lord. But puffed up by tiny success in material advancement, sometimes the godless materialists challenge the existence of God. Ravana was one of them. Brought ordinary men to the planet of Indra, heaven, by material means, without consideration of the necessary qualifications. He wanted a staircase to be built up directly reaching the heavenly planet, so that people might not be required to undergo the routine of pious work necessary to enter that planet. He also wanted to perform other acts against the established rule of the Lord. He even challenged the authority of Sri Ram, the personality of Godhead, and kidnapped his wife Sita. Of course, Lord Ram had come to chastise such atheists, answering the prayer and desire of the demigods. He therefore took up the challenge of Ravana, and the complete activity is the subject matter of the Ramayana. Because Lord Ramachandra was the personality of Godhead, he exhibited superhuman activities which no human being, including the materially advanced Ravana, could perform. The Lord prepared a royal road on the Indian Ocean with stones that floated on the water. The modern scientists have done research in the area of weightlessness, but it is not possible to bring in weightlessness anywhere and everywhere. But because weightlessness is a creation of the Lord, by which He can make the gigantic planets fly and float in the air, He made the stones even within this earth to be weightless and prepared a stone bridge on the sea without any supporting pillars. That is the display of the power of God. Translation again. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Rama in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods. He exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist king Ravana, who was on the other side of the sea. So, Lord Ram, very famous personality in India, especially. Um, here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about, uh, yes, the attempt to fly to other planets by material means is a challenge to the established. Uh, so there is an established order. Uh, People live in different planets. Of course, most people don't believe that other living entities live on other planets. Uh, People think that we are the only ones on this planet, but that is not according to Shastra. Um, and our knowledge primarily we take from Shastra. Just like many years ago, the scientists they uh, their understanding was that life cannot live in fire. We cannot live in fire, but actually there are some living entities that can live in fire. In the sun planet, everyone is yeah. Uh, uh, all that even on this planet, just like we cannot live in the water, but there's some the fish live in the water. They have a system, the gills, that by which they can breathe in the water. We try to breathe in the water, we choke, finish. Uh, so there are living entities that are living in the water, earth, the ground, but there's many living entities that live in the ground, isn't it? There are living entities living in the sky, the birds. um, Prabhupada mentions that in the Shastra, there are some birds that go from one planet to another, and on the way they lay some egg and some bird is born. So they're living entities that live in earth, water, fire, air, ether. Those who don't believe in the existence of God means uh, they they don't understand that there's what is called design. The whole world has been created, has been designed in a particular way, uh, and when we try to go against the established order, then we create uh, uh, difficulties, irregularities. Just like this body, um, when we overeat, we create disorder. Papa mentions that if we overeat, then we have to fast. The next day we have to fast because we cannot digest. We have disturbed the order. So those who are not accepting the existence of God, those who don't accept that there is a system, that there is a purpose for this world, for this creation, um, and generally it means those who are atheistic in nature, they create so many disturbances for which sometimes the Lord Himself has to descend, has to incarnate, as in the example here of Lord Ramachandra, Ravana, atheist. Um, Before that, Hiranyakashipu, so many different demoniac personalities. Um, so the Lord descends in the material world to correct those situations. And um, the devotees of the Lord are meant to assist, just like in the pastime of Lord Ramachandra. Uh, he took help of monkeys. There are different species of monkeys. Now we don't find so many, but some species of monkeys during the time of Lord Ramachandra, they could speak. Hanumanji, uh, different, yeah. So different species of life exist for different purpose, and in the same way that the Lord Ramachandra, he took the help of his monkey friends uh, to uh, to attack and to destroy Lanka. So it means that actually the Lord, when He descends, He has a particular purpose. That purpose is to uh, dharma samstapanat dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge, to reestablish the principles of religion. And it is actually opportunity for the devotees of the Lord to assist the Lord in that mission. what is the business of the acharyas? The acharyas is to actually uh, assist the Lord in reestablishing the principles of dharma. Mm. There are two things. There's dharma and adharma. When dharma is not followed, then adharma prevails. And just like today, it is mostly adharma. And therefore, so much of suffering is there in the world today. So we can find out by reading Shastra what is meant to be the natural order within society, within the world, um, and it is especially the responsibility of those who are brahmanas to nicely read and to study the Shastra so that they gain automatically a more clear understanding of uh, how to assist the Lord in reestablishing mm, the principles of Dharma. So that is uh, what is being referred to here. Uh, Lord Ramachandra, especially, especially um, has many followers uh, in India. Yes. Okay. Mm. We'll go to the next verse, which is text 23. Mm. Ekonabimshe vimshatime vrishnishu prapya janmani Rama Krishna Viti Bhuvo Bhagavan Aharad Haram. Translation and purport. In the 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented himself as Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni, the Yadu dynasty, and by so doing, he removed the burden of the world. Purport. The specific mention of the word Bhagavan in this text indicates Krishna are original forms of the Lord. This will be further explained later. Lord Krishna is not an incarnation of the Purusha, as we learned from the beginning of this chapter. He is directly the original personality of Godhead, and Balaram is the first plenary manifestation of the Lord. From Baladev, the first phalanx of plenary expansions, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna expands. Lord Sri Krishna is Vasudev, and Baladev is Sankarsana. So this whole chapter actually is uh, especially establishing that already we have read about so many different avatars, incarnations, and of all of the incarnations, as is mentioned here, that will be further explained later as well. Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. Uh, that Krishna, of all of these incarnations, Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. That means that if someone is not studying or reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, one cannot understand that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Mm. Yes, and that will come a little later here. Okay, next text is too long to read for now, so we can stop here for today. Any question on this?
That NASA and ISRO, there's NASA scientists.
Okay, NASA.
They are saying that we have landed on moon. That is true or false? I don't believe that we can't go outside from the Earth.
Uh, so, according to NASA, your question is whether actually they have landed on the moon or not. There are different. Prabhupada explains that because the moon is a celestial planet, it is uh, not ordinary planet. They might have gone to some other place, um, um, but it is questionable if they have gone to the moon. Mm. This uh, purport we are reading a few minutes ago, Prabhupada is telling that planets have been, it's like there's innumerable planets in the universe, and they have been created. They have a particular place within the universe, and they have a particular purpose, and it's all part of a very large uh, system. The whole cosmic creation. There's a whole purpose. There's a design behind it, and uh, simply by mechanical means we cannot go anywhere and everywhere. Actually, um, when I was younger, when they were discussing about going to the moon, when it was like on television, uh, all over the world, big news. Now, man is will be landing on the moon. I remember my mother. She was telling they cannot go there just by nature, because uh, So they might go to some other place. Of course, some people don't believe at all that that they have gone to the moon. Yeah. They're spending so much money, huge amount of money to to find out about other planets, and meanwhile, we are destroying this planet. You know, we should rather concentrate on doing things uh, properly. Doing things properly means according to dharma. Leave out, which is what is happening in modern day society. If we leave out this dimension of dharma, then our so-called scientists will be doing all kinds of activities which ultimately will uh, be very destructive to humanity, which is what is taking place. Just like now, they are the whole topic of what is called AI. You know AI, artificial intelligence. Very big, very controversial subject matter because already they have started to use AI with computers and different things, and but we don't understand the built-in dangers that is there. Just like we are flying, for example, we are flying nowadays. It's easy; anyone can take an airplane, but that is going against the laws, established laws, and because of that, so many people are dying, and because of that, we are, you know, the whole modern system, you know, to maintain uh, airplanes, to maintain the whole automobile industry. So many cars, millions of cars are being produced, and they are being produced only because there's factory. And factory, we must get so much of iron and so much of different minerals, and we are destroying the planet. Already, actually, 33% of the planet in terms of natural resources is depleted, is gone. You see, in the last 20 to 30 years, we have used up 33% of the natural resources. So this so-called modern civilization is actually uh, very, very destructive. So uh, it is not to fly in the sky like we have today. So many arrangements and so many dangers are there. It is artificial. It is not natural. Of course, people will say, well, devotees also fly. Yeah, we are all, uh, we are also utilizing, but it's like Prabhupada mentioned, uh, we will not, as devotees, we will not be making cars, for example. Cars are there, we can utilize them for preaching purpose. But cars are not actually a necessity. In modern day society, they are a necessity. You cannot stay in a big city uh, without a car because people have to travel to work. But when you live in a village and you have your land and you produce your own food, you don't need a car. You don't need a motorbike, isn't it? You don't need a cell phone. When I was visiting in the villages, I was interviewing different local leaders. And in one village, part of the question I was asking, okay, what is your name, your address? What is your cell number? One person, I don't have a cell phone. I don't need a cell phone. I'm in the village. All the people here are here. Why I need a cell phone? So cell phones, we think are so wonderful. You know, I was walking the other day taking a few pictures, and one of the workers was selling, oh, iPhone, iPhone. This Maharaj got iPhone. So um, in in Dubai, in the Gulf countries, which are very opulent, very rich, there are two things that people are crazy about. One is cell phone. Whenever there's a new cell phone, they change immediately. They get the new cell phone, and also cars, new car. They know when the next car will be coming. They advertise, and as soon as a cell phone is on the market, then the next one is ready, practically. So like this, people, it's unnecessarily people are wasting time and simply allured by so-called material, you know. Ultimately, people are using are misusing actually. So um, this may seem, uh, what is it? Uh, this may seem like not practical to not have cars, but the idea is that when we understand how, just look at all the highways they have to make, then super highway, super highway, and after so many years here in India, still practically everywhere you go, so many places, the roads are bad. You know, um, people have to spend so much time, government, so much of tax to repair the roads. You know, so this whole modern system and spending so much money for going to this planet, people want to go to Mars and to Venus and to this and that.
They are sending satellites to sun.
To the sun. What they'll do in the sun?
Chandrayana is over. Now Suryayana.
Yeah. Yes. No, this is all misuse of um, this human form of life. Human form of life is meant to minimize our material necessities of life and to actually, if people want to really travel, they should think about traveling to the spiritual world because that's the reality. That is what is eternally existing. Okay, we now. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Gaurav Premanandi.
Hare Hare. His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj ki.